Welcome back to another week of Midwest Whitetail. Bella and I are out at the home farm trying to catch up with one of these turkeys. We've been struggling this year getting one in range, but having a lot of fun, spending time in the outdoors together nonetheless. But wanted to catch you guys up on some of the work we've been doing. I picked up a farm last year. It's about 95 acres, half tillable, half timber. And I picked it up later in the year, so I wasn't able to do a whole lot with it. We got cameras out there and put in 2 little food plots late in the summer, just where there was some grass patches. I didn't own the crop, so couldn't do a whole lot with it last year. And we made one hunt out there, so didn't spend a whole lot of time, just did some observation through trail cameras and then some winter scouting. And so this year, we've been out there the last couple of weeks with the skid loader, just clearing the field edges, reclaimed CRP, took all the trees out of the CRP. There's a few acres that had expired that I need to farm this year to make it eligible to get back in CRP. And then went around the field and cleared back probably 20 feet of brush back to the big trees that had just encroached over the years. So just getting it fixed up. And through observation last year, I figured we had hung one set on the north plot, and we decided to slide that over. We're going to slide that over to the east a little bit based on how the deer enter and exit the field, and we'll try to show you guys some graphics on that aerial photograph so you can better understand it. But there's basically a lane that goes down the center ridge back into the timber to the north that allowed deer to filter down. There's a pond back in the woods, and then they like to filter out that way, but it put them kind of behind my food plot, sometimes coming out to the beans and behind that set. And so I'm going to slide that set down to the east and put that food plot long and skinny against the timber running east and west. And we're going to blow our wind, south-southwest wind, back up the draw. And that's going to keep that pond, that ridge line, and then all the food, the deer filtering out, hopefully in front of the stand. So it's going to be fun to see how that turns out this year. We've got a lot more work to do out on that property. Had some nice young deer on that property last year, so it's a place we're looking forward to hunting. And it should be especially strong during late season. Otherwise, on this week's show, we're going to join Owen. Owen had introduced this concept at the end of last year's hunting season. He picked up an 80-acre farm that's almost completely cedars. And we're really excited to see what he does with it. He's been planning out the food plot architecture, entries, exits, clearing brush, setting it up, and he's gonna start to take us through that process on today's show. And then we're gonna jump over to Kaleb. He's putting some work in on Lee's farm. We got new partners this year with Vetter Equipment and Case IH and Great Plains Drills, and Lee and Kaleb got their tractor and drill delivered a week or so ago. And he's putting a plan together to catch up with that GQ Junior deer. Ryan and I are getting our tractor and drill delivered next Tuesday, and we're really looking forward to putting a plan together on DK on the River Bottom Farm and putting that equipment to good use. We're pretty excited to have these new partners. We hope you guys enjoy the show.
Guys, today is April 26th, and Josh and I were out at Lee's farm. We're at a really familiar spot. This is a spot that Josh and Lee were chasing GQ. This is the fence gap. trying to get back to a new plot that we're trying to establish. You know, Lee had a lot of really good encounters with GQ, a lot of other bucks in this area. And this area that we're gonna go plant this plot, this is gonna be one of the plots designated specifically for this GQ junior buck, but it's actually the piece that I did a lot of cedar work on, and I talked a little bit in the late season hunt for Rafe's buck, but we've got a little bit of opening up. We got to make room for this new drill, and we're going to take this fence out. We're going to make this man-made fence gap a little bit wider. We're going to do a little bit of cutting just so we can get back there, and we're going to get some beans in the ground. So I'm going to start with removing these fence posts, and then we're going to pick up these bad boy saws, get to work with them, and see if we can get back there eventually today. Alright guys, we just got this cleared out. We've got toms gobbling all around us. It's kind of questioning what we're doing today, but we're gonna try making our way back here, see if we can get planted. We still got a little bit of brush to cut in the plot itself, but let's get after it. Beans are in the ground. Man, I'm excited to get this plot done. Well, it's been a productive day so far. We just wrapped up this last plot, and this is gonna be one of the plots designated specifically for this GQ junior buck, but I'm really excited about this new drill, new tractor. It did a great job the last few days for me, and it worked this ground real good. But over my right shoulder, there's two parts of this plot. We checked the clover. The frost-seeded clover is coming up beautiful. Might have to spray clefted on that here real soon when the weather's right, but I just want to talk about this plot, and specifically, it was not here last year. 2 years ago, we came in here and we cleared out a small area for a green plot. Well, this past fall, we didn't have a whole lot of moisture, and the plot didn't grow. So coming into this year, I wanted to kind of change things up. I wanted to add some beans to it. And the first step to when you're making a new plot, you want to make sure you do a soil test, because your soil could be really messed up. Your pH could be off, and you just got to think of it almost like a kid. If you're not going to feed your kid, he's not going to grow. And so we sent our soil samples in. We got our results back. I need to add some lime to it. The PK is off a little bit as well. So we'll get fertilizer in here a little bit before rain. But I'm just really excited to see this plot come together. You know, we have bulletproof access, and that's another one of the first things that you need to look at when you're establishing a new plot is your access. And with how many deer are bedding in this location, specifically for a late season spot, a lot of cedar ridges, they're out of the wind. They have shading as well. They have sunny pockets. They have everything they need. So Lee and I have been doing a lot of studying on this location for this plot, and we're really excited to see it come together. But you know, we just pretty much finished up phase one for this plot. There's a lot of things that we still have yet to do. We got to get a fence up. We got to fertilize here before rain. We got to get a blind in here, but there's a lot of cool things that we'll talk about down the road on how exactly we're going to bow hunt this spot and how we're going to pinch them down closer to the blind within range. So this is one of the best times of the year as far as I'm concerned, because I just love the off-season work that goes into the fall. But I'm really excited. I hope Lee can catch up with this GQ Junior buck. I'm excited to be behind the lens for it. Moving forward, I'm gonna be back home on my farms that I have permission on here really soon. But I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope to see you back next time.
Seems like it'd be a blast. First 25, 30 trees are a lot of fun, and then get to about 400 trees and you feel like you're over it. So I think right here is where I'm going to tuck a redneck blind. Initially I was going to have it on an erosion ditch over there, but because we're filming, I didn't think the visibility was that great, and I want this to be great for you guys, so we decided to come right here on top of the hill where we can see the whole plot. So nice little, we'll put a rubbing post on the other side of it, try to cut all the other licking branches down so they got one spot they want to go to. It'll be awesome. Yeah, you see a little path over here on this corner. We'll walk the road in, come down this corner and walk this, and then just pop up into it. That's how you know it's going to be a good year. We got the first kill of the year out of the way. Awesome. Well, here it is, May 1st, guys. We just saw Kaleb putting that drill to work after that GQ Junior buck that Lee's after. We're over here on the 80. We're setting up plots just the same, so we'll have a good season this fall. You see me do the map segment on this new 80. Now we're finally putting that plan into place. We've got the destination field pretty well cleared. I've got to mow it. Then I'm going to come back and disc it this time. I'm not a huge fan of disking, but in this case where we've got a lot of holes and uneven ground, it'll smooth that out nice for the first year. So there is no tree to get in around this plot, so we're going to put in a redneck, which will be awesome. We've got a 6x6 here on a 10-foot tower, so we'll be able to see that whole plot like I was saying earlier. So should set up nice, put a rubbing post out in front of it. I bet we'll kill some nice deer out of that plot. So this is exciting. I love doing this stuff. So we'll get this loaded up, we'll get the stand in there, get the blind set on it, and we'll get after it. A little high in that corner. Check each side separately if you can. Check this other side here. Do we need to spin it a little bit first? Let me look here. Maybe a hair more. There we go. Now if we can get a muscle man just to push this up like that. Well, there you have it, guys. The redneck blind is up. Now we gotta go mow this and get the little trees. I'm gonna disc it, fertilize it. We do need to soil sample it as well, fertilize it. And man, I tell you, this thing has got a view to die for. You can see for miles right up here. So I don't really know the deer here. We've got just a few months of history on it, so we don't know what we'll be hunting this year. Sometimes it might take a year or two, you never know. But you know, when you're setting these up, I always start with access. I love entry and exit, and this one is maybe a little tricky getting out, but should be great getting in. And then if this will grow corn, I'm gonna try and put corn here. I mean, it's a great draw for a destination plot like what this is. It's about almost 5 acres, so it'll hold some deer. So I'm excited about that. And then if corn doesn't do well, we can always come back, you know, late summer, mow that down and put brassicas in here or something like that. So this is the time of year right here where you kill the bucks. I mean, we hunt them in October, but this right here is when you make it happen. So I appreciate you guys joining us. We'll see you on the next episode.